Okay, for the level 1, okay, so this is the first level that we need to calculate how many B and how many C in level 1. Okay, so we know A is 50, B would be 2 times 50. So if you have a pencil and paper now, you can draw out the product structure as found here on the screen. Okay, draw the product structure. And next to number 2, you write times 50. So equals to berapa? 2 times 50 equals to 100. Okay. C, 3 times berapa? 3 times 50. So 150. Okay. So we've got A is 50. B, 2 times the parent, which is 50. 2 times 50, 100. C, kita ada 3 or 3. 3 times the parent, 50. 3 times 50 is 150. Okay. So level 1 completed. B settle, C settle. The reason why I ask you to write it down is because the next level you have to identify. For level 2, E, you have to refer to the parent, which is B. On the left side, E. On the right side, E, you have to refer to the parent, which is C. Refer to the parent of F, which is C also. Okay. So now, level 2, E. 2 times how much? B tadi how much? Santia, not 50. Parent, the grandparent is 50. A, correct. B, 2 times 50, the parent is 100. So E, refer to the parent, 2 times 100 equals to 200. Correct. Okay. Santia, faham?
Yes,
Okay.
Doctor.
Okay, good. Now, always refer to your parent. Now, just now we said C, 3 times 50, 150. Okay, so C, the total is 150. Now we want to go to the child of C, E. 2 times how much? Two times 150 becomes 300 for the E on the right. Okay, good. Then F, 2 times 150 equals to 300. Okay, good. Now we move on to the next level, which is level 3. Okay, so parent of D on the left side is B. B just now how much? 100. Good. So 2 times 100, D on the left side is 200 because 2 times 100, which is parent. The parent is B. Okay. Next, we have on the right side, level 3, we have G. We look at the parent is F. The parent just now, F is 300. So G, 1 times 300, 300. D on the right side, 2 times 300, 600. Okay, good. So I repeat again, what's the total for each parent and child? So at the top here, we have A, 50. B on the left side, 100. E below it, 200. D below it, 200. On the right side, C, 150. E, 300. F, 300. G, 300. D, 600. Everyone okay? Okay. So we settle. We know that in the question, you are given the product structure, then you're supposed to calculate. You identify from the question how much ready products should you produce. So you start from the parent, the top one, and then you bring down the calculation until you reach the bottom, the last level. Okay, the next part is where you do, this is basically how you calculated for each parent and child just now lah. So you've already successfully done that, so it's okay. And then what you need to do is, okay, in this slide, it explains about the lead time for each apa dia, activity. Okay, so lead time ni, it's explained here. Explained here is the time required to purchase, produce, or assemble an item. Okay, so if you know that in week, I think in the question it says that the final product needs to be ready in week 8. Okay, so it takes 1 week to prepare. So that's why you should basically start making it in week 7. So that's the logic with this lead time. Okay, so this is also a product structure, but there is time information in the figure. Okay, so as I mentioned just now it was portrait. Now we change the format to become landscape. Understand or not? Just now it was straight. Now we just move it to the right to become landscape. Okay, so we know from the question it says that it needs to be completed in week 8. Okay, so that's why we immediately have the time in weeks. The one on the right is 8. So A takes 1 week to do. So you need to draw the line to start finish product B and C in week 7. So refer to your lead time here. Okay, so you notice B is 2 weeks. Okay, so B 2 weeks, C 1 week. Okay, D 1 week, E 2 weeks, F 3 weeks, G 2 weeks. So you just follow through the drawing according to the information given in the previous table. Okay, so this part is very straightforward. You just need to know lead time is how much time you need in order to make the product ready. So you know that product A is the final product, right? You start there. So you know it needs to be ready in week 8. So you need to start producing it in week 7. So this part okay? Okay. Now, okay, so this just description of what master production schedule is lah. Okay, so we move to the first main method in order for us to do the material requirements plan. So this is a gross material requirements plan. All right, so we have 3 steps here. The first step is to do the product structure. The second step just now, we identify what are the lead time is given. So that's why that's the information that you need to use in order for you to draw the time phase product structure, which is this one. Okay, so we include the time element in this product structure. The first product structure, basically, no time requirement. We are just given the product structure, and then we have to figure out what are the gross requirements lah, what are the numbers, how much material we need for each component. Okay, so very straightforward. Right, so we have the information given here. Starts with a production schedule for the N item, 50 units of item A in week 8. Okay, so the N item is categorized or labeled as item A, and it needs to be ready in week 8, and the quantity is 50 units. Okay, so again I say the final product is labeled as item A. The products needs to this product, item A, finished product, needs to be ready in week 8, and they need the quantity of 50 units. Okay, then the lead time information is given. Okay, so they give an example here for item A. If the lead time is 1 means that you need to release the order. Release the order means you will be saying to the production system, we need to start making it in week 7. So that's what order release is. You release the order into the system saying, system, hello, can you please start making item A in week 7 so that it will be ready in week 8. How many units you need? 50. Okay, so we move on to see how the gross requirements plan looks like. So this part is straightforward, where you only have two information uh, in a row. Okay, so you have on the left side, when do you require it? We know that the finished product is week 8. So you put here 50. Okay, just now remember, I said that we need 50. Item A, week 8. Okay, so you put here. On the right side, the last column is where you note down how many weeks, in this case, is the lead time, just for your reference. Okay, so required date, lead time, okay. Now what we actually need to do is to figure out this order release date. Is this order release is basically what you need to note down to say to the system, you need to make it now because this item is needed in 1 week, and what is the quantity. So it's very simple. From for product A, you note down 50 in week 8 because the lead time is 50. You put 50 in week 7. That's your order release date. Okay. Next, required date. So you refer to your ni here. Kejap. You have to refer to this one. Your product 3 just now, your calculation, A 50, B 100, correct? C how much? B is 100, C is 150. Okay, good. Okay, so you know that B is 100. Because it's 2 weeks, don't put it in week 6 lah. Put it in week 5. But why did you put it in week 7? Because you refer to the time phase product structure just now. It was needed in week 7. This B and C. Okay, so you refer to your, that's why this time phase product structure is important. So can you see B, C, you look below, it's in week 7. Okay? Boleh? Okay. So 150. So again, there are 2 E's. So you look at your product structure. E in week 6 is this one. E in week 5 is this one. Okay, so that's why it is important for you to draw it on your own to note down what is the total. Okay, so one is in week 6, one is in week 5. 2 weeks lead time. So 6, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3. Okay, and then the next one is F because 3 weeks lead time. 6, 5, 4, 3. And then you have for D, 200, 600, just one lead time. So 5 goes to 4, 3 goes to 2. And then for G, just 2 weeks lead time, 300 from week 3 goes to week 2 and 1. So for gross requirements plan, it's very straightforward. Not much headache. But understand or not? So this table, you just need to make sure that you understand or note down what is the lead time, and then you just move it backwards. But where do you start? The final product, you need to know from the question. They will tell you week 8 and what is the quantity. And then you just note down what are the numbers for the materials you need. Okay? The next part is your net requirements plan. Okay, so just now, gross material requirements plan, they do not have information or they do not calculate for inventory on hand or balance inventory. Okay, inventory on hand. So net requirements plan will adjust for on-hand inventory, right? Okay, so that is the difference here. So if you look or read the example in your textbook, the information that is given, so they just follow the information from example 2. Now they just incorporate the on-hand inventory. Okay, so again, the final item is labeled item A. It is needed in week 8 and they need a quantity of 50 units. Okay, and the information for on-hand inventory, they have 10 items of item A. Okay, so because they already have 10 item on hand already, you do not need to produce 50. You only need to produce 40 because you take the gross requirement number of units minus the on-hand inventory of 10. So instead of producing 50 in net requirements plan, you only produce 40. So when the number of A changes, the number of B, C, D, E, F all changes. So you have to draw the product structure again, count the materials needed again. Okay, so that's why at the end here, it says that you need to recalculate the 3. So up till here, okay? Okay tak? Okay. Okay. Here following the cross requirement for item B is now 80. Okay. Where is there okay, kejap. Let's just draw together quickly. Okay, let's look at the original figure. Okay. A is how much for net requirements plan? It's no longer is 50, is how much now? If you draw again the product structure, okay, quickly just draw the same product structure. Okay. Draw ke tak ni? Kau jangan melangut je. I give you 1-2 minutes to draw. Draw again this product structure. Sorry. I cakap seorang-seorang tadi. Okay. Now, for net requirements plan, you should have original gross 50, on-hand inventory 10. So A is now how much? 40. Okay. Because A is 40, we look at the first level. B 2 times 40 is 80. Okay. B 2 times 40 is 80. Then C 3 times 40 is 120. So B 40 times 2, 80. C, 40 times 3, 120. Okay, let's look at the information. On the on-hand inventory, is it given here? Sekejap, eh. Okay, the information on on-hand inventory is up there. Okay, so you have B15, C20, D10, E10, F5, G0. Okay, so this is what the net requirement plan looks like. Okay, so we have more rows for each product lah. Okay, so the label kita ada A, B, C in this slide. Okay, so we have 8 weeks and the gross requirements plan, we started with 50. Okay, so in week 8, we know that we have the on-hand inventory 10. So we need the product in week 8, 40. Okay, plan order receipt is basically just bring down what is the number for net requirements. The one that is taking into consideration the lead time is your plan order release. Plan order release. Okay, so lead time, you look on the left side, lead time 1 week. So from week 8, 40, you just bring to week 7, 40. Plan order release ni is the same as the one in your gross requirements plan. Just now that we do. Required date, week 8, order release, lead time 1, so release in week 7. Okay, so it's the same thing, just have more information here because of your on-hand inventory. So I repeat again for A, you have gross requirements that you needed in week 8. But because we have on-hand inventory of 10, so your net requirements, you should have 40 ready products in week 8. And then your order receipt, you just bring down from net requirements. But for your order release, you refer to your lead time 1. Okay, so 40 units should be released in week 7 to make it ready by week 8. So this part, okay? Okay. So for B just now, okay, if you notice at gross requirements for B, 80 here, dia ada note down who is the parent. So for B, in this case, the parent is A. Okay. When the parent is A, you also need to refer, you don't just take the number 40, you have to refer to your product structure just now. Remember that you need two Bs to make one A. You need 3 Cs to make one A. Yeah? Okay, so that's why in that diagram or that table, even though you are referring to parent A, but because you need 2 Bs to make one A, that's why the number is 80. Okay, so to make A, B needs to be ready in week 7. And you have your on-hand inventory. You look at the table up there, on-hand inventory 15. So 80 minus 15 is 65. And then I said plan order receipt, you just bring down what is the number for net requirements. And then you refer to your lead time from week 7, 6, 5. So plan order release for B, week 5, 65. Okay. All right. Next, the parent is A for C. Okay, but we know 40, we need 3 Cs. For 40 times 3 is 120. 120 in week 7. 120 minus projected on hand, you look above in the table, C, you have on hand inventory 20, 120 minus 20, 100. Bring down plan order receipt, refer to your lead time 100. Okay. So this slide concludes for E, F, D, and G. Okay, so again, it's the same thing. You refer to who is the parent. Okay, refer to who is the parent. Just that when there are two parts of E in this case kan, for example, two parts in this case, uh, in week, where's the week? One, two, sekejap. 8, 7, 6, 5. Okay. 5 and 6 for E. Kejap we go to the product structure. Kejap, for gross kan, for E, you look, you have 200, 300, week 5, 200, week 6, 300. Okay. So the difference here now is the on-hand inventory will be used by the first, sorry, pening korang. Okay, the on-hand inventory will be used to the letter or label which is need to be done first. So if in week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 130 needs to be produced minus your on-hand inventory 120, 120 refer to lead time to 1, 2. Okay. So minus the on-hand inventory from the first label, label apa benda yang first E lah. Okay. So F, no problem because you only have one F. For D, there is also two Ds. So you minus off the on-hand inventory in the first D that you encounter in your time phase product structure. So in this case, 390 minus 10, 380, then you incorporate the lead time. Okay ke tak part ni? If tak okay, saya repeat. Okay ke tak okay? Pening. Memang pening. Sebab tu kena, that's why you need to understand well your gross first. Okay? Your gross first. You know that in your gross, you have two information only. You have your required date, you have your order release. Okay? So, in your net requirements plan, what you need to do is you know what's your gross, then you minus off your on-hand inventory, you get your net requirements. Plan order receipt to nothing, you just bring down the number. Plan order release, you just take into consideration your lead time. If lead time 1, you just bring to the left 1. That's it. Okay. So this calculation, you have to draw your product structure and then draw the time phase so that you know where to put the numbers. Okay. Refer to the parent. Always refer to the parent. Like for example, I said just now, from A, plan order release 40, you want to transfer to B, okay, you don't take 40 lah because you need 2 Bs to make 1 A. So that's why it's 80. Okay, the product structure is very important. So that's why you need to start there first. Do the gross calculation and then you can do this on-hand inventory. Okay, tak apa. This week, you need to apa dia? Work a little bit harder because the calculation is a little bit challenging for this one.